God usually shows you tells you to do something. It's not your own idea. So what kind of things has he asked you to do where you've seen him come through?
Yeah, let's see. I have, let's see, a handful of stories.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, I mean, there was a point in time too that I remember that whenever I talked, to God and I read His Word, obedience just came up over and over and
that's
over
good.
again, and I started trying. Okay, Lord, I'm gonna be obedient to the things that you tell me and what you put in me to do, and I spent like a solid week, just like anything the Lord tells me, I'm just going to say yes to,
That's good.
and it was hard. I was like, Lord, why is this so hard for me?
Mm.
Like, you're the author and maker of everything. Like,
Yeah.
why is it so hard to listen to what you have to say and then do it?
Mm-hmm.
Like I know so much better than you.
Right.
Like, no, Lord,
on. It's the
and so, I mean, I could tell you story after story where, he's sent me to do something. I'm like, Lord, I don't want to do this. Like, please, can there be somebody else?
Right.
But it really, the reoccurring thing is like the Lord, wants my obedience.
Yeah.
And that can be hard for people to hear. It really can be like somebody says, I want you to obey me, Dante. It's like, I ain't going to obey you. I'm my own person.
Forget about it.
And to really open up our hearts and say, Lord, I want to be in obedience to you is a tough thing. We can say it all we want, but do we really want that to happen? Do we really want to, okay, Lord's telling me to go do this. I'm going to go do it.
Come on.
I'm going to go walk in that. And it looks scary. It looks murky, but I'm going to do it.
That's so good. I think they made a movie about you, right? And starring Jim Carrey. Yes, man. No.
The Yes Man.
Yeah,
I was wondering where you're going. I'm like, is he going to the mask? Like,
no,
is that what he's talking about?
You never know. Like you said, just say yes.
What is he
God,
trying to say right now?
And I love that movie. It was a fun movie. But anyway, you're right though. Like in saying yes to God in every aspect of your life and letting Him just take you on that journey. I know for me, it's been the same thing. It's one thing after another. And I try to tell, as a pastor, I'm always telling people, when you give your life to the Lord, it's not going to get easier. It's going to get harder. It's going to get harder over and over again. And it's not in the way of it like being so detrimentally difficult. It's that every challenge you get is bigger. If you're going to go in faith with the Lord, He's going to go, oh, okay, well, you had big enough faith for this. All right, well, how about this one? Do you have big enough faith for that? Oh, how about this one? And I'm kind of sitting in this new place. I've had, with our men's group, we've been teaching about bold faith, bold words, bold prayer. And I remember when we went through the chapter on bold prayer, I sat down with one of the gentlemen from our men's group, and he had said, he's like, hey, Pastor, can I tell you something? I'm like, okay. And he says, I've been praying. I read the chapter on bold prayer, and I've been praying some big prayers. Can I tell you what they are? I'm like, sure. He said, I'm praying that God is going to make you debt-free, and you're going to have 2 working vehicles by the end of the year. I'm like, well, that's cool. But there was something inside of me that could not have that same boldness. I was like, thanks. And it's one of those things in boldness. Sometimes, when someone else is being bold and they're ahead of you in that mindset and those things that you're thinking of, it can be difficult sometimes to be able to see what they see, and so it's one of those things as you go on your journey and you watch other people and watch them in their faith and in their maturity. Sometimes we think like, oh man, that's an asinine thing to try to pray for. Like, why can't you pray for like world peace or something? Not debt free for me. I'm a pastor. I don't make any money, bro. Come on, let's think this thing through. But anyway, no, I'm just joking. But in that, you have to grow in it. You have to grow, and on the Here We Grow podcast, that's what we're all about, right? So you got to grow in your faith. You got to grow in your ability to be boldness. And where does boldness come from? Boldness is birthed out of belief. Right? And belief comes through seeing an expression of God, right? When God moves, you see it and you believe it and you've experienced it. So then the next time something comes, you can be bold in it. All of a sudden you're like, well, God came through before. He can come through again.